The planet was silent. No wind moved across the rocks and no sound came from the dark sky above. Only the slow crunch of human boots broke the silence as the exploration team walked deeper into the alien valley. Their helmets glowed with soft lights cutting through the shadows. Captain Reynolds raised his hand, signaling the others to stop. His eyes studied the black opening ahead. It was not natural. The walls were too smooth, the shape too perfect. It looked like a doorway carved into the side of the cliff. The humans stood in silence, their hearts beating faster. They had been searching for weeks, scanning the surface of this planet, and now they had found something strange. Something made by hands or claws of another race. "Is this a base?" whispered Private Lewis, his voice shaking inside the comms. "Maybe," Reynolds answered, his voice calm but tight. "Stay close." No sudden moves. They stepped into the doorway. The light from their helmets revealed tall walls covered in glowing symbols. The air inside was heavy, thick with dust and a strange smell none of them could name. Every step echoed like a drum. The deeper they went, the stronger the feeling grew. They were not alone. Corporal Vega touched the wall. The glowing symbols moved under his fingers, shifting like living light. He pulled back quickly. This is active," he whispered. Reynolds nodded. "It's not dead. Whoever made this place, it's still alive." The corridor opened into a wide chamber. The humans froze. Something stood at the center. It was tall, its skin pale like stone, but its body shape was not like theirs. It had arms and legs, yes, but its chest and lower body were different, stretched and shaped in ways the humans did not understand. Its head turned slowly toward them and glowing eyes fixed on the group. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. Then the alien tilted its head and stepped forward. Its voice came, deep and echoing, not from its mouth, but from the air around them. "Human," it said slowly. "Why do you stare at me so strangely? Does the bulge between my legs intrigue you? Is that why you act this way?" The humans froze in shock. Lewis swallowed hard, almost dropping his weapon. Vega looked away, confused and nervous. Reynolds kept his ground, though his jaw tightened. The alien's voice carried no anger, only curiosity. It stood tall, hands open, as if waiting for an answer. Reynolds forced himself to speak. "We are explorers. We come in peace, but you are not what we expected." The alien tilted its head again, almost amused. "You look at my form as if it were a puzzle. But tell me, human, is it my body that confuses you? Or the fear inside your own heart?" A silence fell. The humans exchanged uneasy glances. Suddenly the chamber lights flickered. The glowing symbols on the walls began to move faster, flowing like rivers of fire. The alien's body shimmered, and for a moment its skin turned translucent. The humans could see shapes beneath the flesh, machines, wires, something alive but not alive. Lewis gasped. What is it?" The alien's voice deepened. "I am not only flesh. I am memory. I am weapon. I am witness. And now, I am here with you." The air grew heavy. The humans felt pressure pushing against their helmets like invisible hands pressing down on them. Vega raised his rifle in fear. "Captain, it's doing something. Hold fire!" Reynolds barked. His eyes stayed locked on the alien. "We don't know its intent." The alien stepped closer, its movement smooth and unhurried. Its glowing eyes studied each human one by one as if weighing their worth. Then it stopped in front of Reynolds, towering over him. "You lead them," it said. "But can you control them?" Reynolds stayed silent, his heart pounding. The alien leaned slightly forward, its strange form casting long shadows across the chamber floor. "You do not understand what you have found. This place is not yours. It was never meant for you, and yet you are here." The walls trembled as if the chamber itself was alive. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lewis shouted, panicked, "Captain, the whole place is moving." The alien raised a hand and the shaking stopped instantly. Silence returned. The being lowered its hand and looked at Reynolds once more. "You have questions," it said softly. "But so do I. Tell me, human. Why do you fear me?" The chamber grew darker. Only the alien's glowing eyes remained, burning like twin suns in the blackness. The humans stood frozen, their fear rising, their weapons shaking in their hands. The alien's voice echoed again, deeper than before. "Do you fear me because I am strange? Or do you fear me because I am like you?" The humans had no answer. Their silence filled the chamber like a scream, and then without warning, the chamber doors behind them slammed shut. The humans spun around, weapons raised, their hearts racing. They were trapped. The chamber was silent after the doors closed. The sound of metal ceiling echoed in the humans' ears, making their hearts pound faster. They were trapped, and the alien stood between them and freedom. Private Lewis gripped his weapon tighter. His hands were shaking.
Captain.
We're not safe here. It sealed us in like animals in a cage. Captain Reynolds raised his hand slowly, signaling for calm. His eyes never left the alien. Hold your fire. Don't make a mistake we can't undo. The alien tilted its head, watching them with those glowing eyes. It took a slow step forward, and the light from the walls danced across its strange body. Parts of its form looked human, but other parts were not. The lower half seemed heavy, mechanical, and alive at the same time. Corporal Vega whispered almost to himself, "It doesn't walk like us. It doesn't even breathe like us." The alien's voice came again, smooth but heavy. "You humans stare. Your eyes ask questions, but your mouths stay closed. Are you afraid of what you see? Or are you afraid of yourselves?" The words echoed in the chamber. None of them answered. Reynolds took a slow step forward, showing no fear. "If you wanted to harm us, you already could have. So why trap us here? Why speak to us?" The alien studied him carefully. Its glowing eyes narrowed. "Because you are the first to enter this place. Because you dared to walk where others would not. That means something. But still," it paused. "You look at my body as if it is a mistake. Why does it trouble you?" The team shifted uncomfortably. The alien was right, they couldn't stop staring. The shape of its body, the strange bulge, the way parts of it shimmered as if made of light and metal. It unsettled them more than they wanted to admit. Lewis whispered, his voice shaking, "It's mocking us." But the alien turned toward him, its voice sharp. "No, I'm not mocking. I am asking. You measure me with your eyes, but you do not understand. What you call strange is what keeps me alive." The walls began to glow brighter. Symbols ran across the surface, moving faster, as if reacting to the alien's emotions. The chamber pulsed with energy. Reynolds tightened his jaw. "What do you want from us?" The alien's voice softened, almost thoughtful. "To see if humans are worthy. To see if the stories about you are true." "Stories?" Vega asked, confused. "What stories?" The alien turned its gaze on him. "That humans are dangerous. That you are weak but also strong. That you can destroy but also create. That you are unlike any species we have known." The words sank into the humans like heavy stones. The alien knew about them. It had heard of humanity. Lewis shook his head. How do you know us?" "We've never been here before." The alien's strange body shimmered again, showing flickers of light beneath its skin. For a moment, an image appeared in the air, a memory projection. It was Earth, blue oceans, green land, white clouds. The humans gasped. That's home?" Vega whispered in awe. The alien's voice grew deep. "We have watched. Long before you came to this planet. Long before you left your small world. We were already watching." A chill ran through the group. The thought of being observed, of being studied without knowing, filled them with unease. Reynolds stepped forward. "If you've been watching us, then why reveal yourself now?" The alien paused. The silence stretched heavy and thick before it answered. "Because now, another species is coming, and they will not look at you with curiosity. They will not ask questions. They will only take." The word struck hard. Lewis whispered, "Another species? You mean there are more of you?" The alien shook its head. "Not like me. Not like you. They are something else, and they are near." The chamber grew colder. The humans felt the air thicken, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. Vega raised his voice nervously. "Then why trap us? Why not let us go? Why keep us here?" The alien looked at him and said, "Because before I can help you, I must know what you truly are. Brave or afraid, curious, or blind, worthy, or doomed." The words hung heavy in the chamber. The humans didn't speak. Fear and confusion battled inside them. Then the alien did something none of them expected. It knelt down, lowering its tall body until its glowing eyes were level with Reynolds. "Tell me, human leader," it said softly, "if your kind is so strong, why do you tremble?" Reynolds clenched his fists. He wanted to answer, but the truth was heavy in his chest. He was trembling. They all were. And before he could speak, the chamber lights cut out. Darkness swallowed everything. The only sound was the alien's voice whispering in the black, "You are not ready." But you must become ready. Soon. The humans' hearts raced in the dark. The silence was terrifying. They could feel the alien still there, its presence heavy and close. And then, without warning, a second door opened somewhere deep in the chamber. A faint red light spilled in. Something else was coming. The red light from the new doorway painted the chamber in a dim glow. The humans stood frozen, their weapons raised, eyes darting between the alien and the dark passage ahead. Something was moving beyond the door. The sound was faint, like metal scraping against stone. Captain Reynolds took a steady breath. "Hold positions," he ordered. His voice was calm, but his chest was heavy with fear. The alien did not move. Its glowing eyes remained fixed on the humans, unreadable and calm. Finally it spoke, its voice deep and slow. "Do not fear what comes. It is not enemy, not yet. What you hear is this place. The walls shift when it chooses. It is alive in ways you do not understand." The scraping grew louder, then faded again. The humans held their breath, waiting, but nothing emerged from the passage. Only silence remained. Private Lewis lowered his rifle slightly. "Captain, this is insane. The walls are moving, doors are opening by themselves, and this thing," he nodded at the alien, "talks like it knows us better than we know ourselves. We need to get out of here," but the alien's voice cut him off. "You cannot leave, not yet, because you still do not understand me. And until you do, you are not ready for what waits beyond the stars." The humans exchanged uneasy glances. Corporal Vega asked cautiously, "Then explain. What are you? What is this place?" The alien shifted its body, and for the first time it stepped fully into the red light. Its strange form was revealed more clearly. The bulge that had unsettled the humans before began to glow faintly, as if something inside was alive. Then its skin shimmered, becoming almost transparent. The humans gasped. Beneath the surface they saw shapes, thin wires, tubes filled with glowing liquid, and tiny moving lights like stars. It was as if the alien was half flesh, half machine. What are we looking at?" Vega whispered, his eyes wide. The alien's voice rumbled through the chamber. "This is my truth. My body is not like yours. It carries more than flesh. It carries memory. It carries power. It carries history." Reynolds narrowed his eyes. "History?" "Yes," the alien said. "Inside me are the records of many worlds. The knowledge of species long gone. My form is not mistake human, it is design. What you call strange is survival." Lewis shook his head in disbelief. "You're saying you're some kind of archive?" The alien's glowing eyes turned toward him. "Not archive, witness, guardian. I was created to hold what must not be lost. Every piece of me tells a story, even the part you fear to look at." The humans were silent, their minds racing. The alien took another step closer. "You think of me as alien, but what am I really? I am flesh like you. I am machine unlike you. I am both and more. My body confuses you because it is a mirror of what you may one day become." The words struck deep. None of them spoke. Then the alien raised its hand. A beam of light shot out, filling the chamber. The walls lit up with images, strange landscapes, alien cities, burning skies. The humans stared in shock as they watched civilizations rise and fall in flashes of memory. Reynolds stepped forward slowly. These are other worlds." "Yes," the alien replied. "Worlds I have seen. Worlds that no longer live. Their histories live within me. Their mistakes, their wars, their ends. And now humanity's story is joining them." The chamber grew colder. The weight of the alien's words pressed down on the humans like a heavy stone. Lewis whispered, his voice breaking. "Are you saying we're doomed too?" The alien's eyes glowed brighter. "Not doomed, not yet. But the same danger comes for you. The same shadow that ended others will soon look at Earth. That is why I am here. That is why you must understand me." The humans exchanged tense glances, fear mixed with curiosity. Vega asked, "And what about the bulge? The part of you that—" He stopped, embarrassed. The alien did not seem offended. Instead, it answered calmly, "That is no mistake of flesh. That is where I carry the seed of memory, a living core designed to survive even if I fall. You call it strange because your eyes are blind to its purpose, but it is what keeps the stories alive." The chamber lights dimmed again, leaving only the red glow. Reynolds clenched his fists. "If you hold all this knowledge, if you've seen so many worlds die, then tell us. Tell us what's coming. The alien looked at him for a long moment silent. Then its voice dropped low, almost like a growl. What comes is hunger. A species without heart, without mercy. They do not question as you do. They only consume. And once they see your world, they will not stop until it is ash. The humans froze, their blood running cold. Lewis whispered. Then, we don't stand a chance. The alien turned, looking into the darkness of the new passage. You have a chance. But only if you learn what makes you different. Only if you stop fearing what you do not understand. The chamber trembled again. The red light flickered. A low sound echoed from the passage, deep and heavy like footsteps or something worse. The alien's eyes glowed brighter. They are closer than I thought. The humans raised their weapons, fear filling their chests, and in the red light, a shadow began to move. The shadow in the red passage grew larger. Heavy sounds echoed, thump, scrape, thump, as if something huge dragged itself forward. The humans tightened their grips on their weapons, hearts racing. The chamber lights flickered, throwing broken images across the walls. Private Lewis could not take it anymore. His voice cracked. Captain, we can't just stand here. We need to fire before it comes through. But Captain Reynolds stayed calm, his voice firm. Hold your fire. The alien raised one hand. The glowing symbols on the wall froze, and the scraping sound stopped instantly. The shadow froze too, as if trapped by the alien's will. Silence fell heavy over the chamber. You see? The alien said softly. You rush to kill what you do not understand. But violence will not save you. Not from them. Not from me. Corporal Vega swallowed hard, sweat on his face. Then what will save us? Because right now all we see is you playing with us like pieces on a board. The alien's glowing eyes turned toward him. You think I am your enemy. But tell me, human, if I wished you dead, would you still be breathing now? The weight of the words hit them all. Vega lowered his weapon slightly but kept his guard. Lewis shook his head furiously. This is a trick. It's controlling everything. We can't trust it, Captain. Reynolds stared at the alien for a long moment, then said, Maybe. But it also hasn't harmed us. Not once, that means something. The alien's voice deepened. Your leader speaks with reason. Fear blinds the rest of you. You must choose, fear me or hear me. The walls glowed again. Images appeared in the air, flickering like a broken film. The humans saw visions of fire raining across alien skies, cities falling into ruin, creatures fleeing from an unstoppable force. Then the vision shifted, Earth appeared again. This time it was burning. The team froze. This is what comes, the alien said. Its voice carried sorrow. I have seen it before. Entire worlds devoured, entire people silenced, and now they are moving toward your home. You said, start with part 5, more unique 800 world chat GPT said excellent. Let's move to part 5 of your HFY Sci-Fi Story. We'll keep it third-person narration with simple English, around 800 words, full of unique suspense and revelations. This part will dig deeper into the alien's knowledge of humanity and reveal the coming threat more clearly. Part 5, Truth About Observation. 800 words, simple English, third-person narration. The chamber was silent again, but the silence was heavy. The humans stood tense, their weapons still raised, their eyes darting between the alien and the dark passage. The shadow that had moved moments before was gone, but its memory lingered like a ghost. Captain Reynolds was the first to break the silence. His voice was low, controlled, but filled with weight. You said you've been watching us. You said you know our history. What exactly do you mean by that? The alien turned its glowing eyes toward him. For a long moment it did not answer. Then with a slow, deliberate motion it raised its hand again. A sphere of light formed in its palm and images swirled inside it. The humans gasped. The sphere showed Earth, oceans, continents, clouds drifting in the sky. Then it zoomed closer, showing ancient deserts, forests, mountains, and finally humans. Cavemen drawing symbols on walls. Villages forming. Wars fought with fire and steel. The rise of cities, towers, machines. The spreading of mankind across land, air, and now space. Reynolds took a sharp breath. This is our history. The alien's voice echoed through the chamber. Yes. I have watched since your kind first lit fire in the dark. I saw you climb from caves into empires. I saw your wars, your victories, your failures. I saw you reach for the stars. I know you, human. Perhaps more than you know yourselves. Private Lewis's face was pale. He took a step back, shaking his head. That's impossible. We would have known. Someone would have seen you. The alien's gaze fell on him. No, you were too busy looking at each other. You were blind to the eyes above. Corporal Vega frowned, staring into the sphere. But why? Why watch us all this time? Why keep records of us? The alien lowered its hand and the sphere vanished into nothing. Its body shimmered again, and the faint bulge at its center pulsed with light as if responding to its own words. Because you are different, the alien said. So many species rose before you. So many fell. They built, they fought, they destroyed. But none carried the spark you do. None had the will to stand even in weakness. None had the gift to change their fate. That is why you were watched. That is why you were remembered. The humans stood stunned. Reynolds finally spoke. If what you're saying is true, then why now? Why reveal yourself only after all this time? The alien's eyes narrowed, glowing brighter. Because time is ending. The ones who come, they are near. They do not care for your spark. They do not care for your courage. They consume. They erase. If they reach your world unchallenged, Earth will burn. The chamber seemed to grow colder with every word. Lewis whispered, Then we're doomed. We don't have the power to fight something like that. But the alien turned sharply, its voice rising with sudden force. No, do not speak doom. That is not what you are. I have seen you fight when no hope was left. I have seen you win against impossible odds. That is why I kept your memory. That is why I still stand before you. Humans, you are not weak. You are dangerous, the word struck deep. The humans felt something stir in their chests. Fear was still there, but with it came something else. Pride, perhaps, or defiance. Vega swallowed hard. If you've been watching us for so long, then you must have something more than warnings. Do you have weapons? Do you have technology that can help us? The alien's body shimmered again. Its lower half shifted, opening slightly, revealing a core of glowing blue light. The pulsing bulge split apart into thin layers of living metal, and from within a device rose slowly, humming with strange energy. The humans stared in awe. This, the alien said, is my burden, a seed of memory. It holds the knowledge of worlds lost and the power of their mistakes. With this you may learn, with this you may fight, but knowledge is dangerous. It can save, or it can destroy. The question is, are you ready to bear it? Reynolds took a step forward, his eyes fixed on the device. His voice was steady, but his mind raced. If we don't take it, what happens? The alien's eyes glowed like fire. Then the hunger will come and you will die like the others. And your story will end in silence. The chamber fell quiet again. The humans stood frozen, staring at the device, at the alien, at each other. Fear battled with hope inside their hearts. Reynolds clenched his fists. He knew this moment would decide everything. Trust the alien or refuse and risk doom. The alien lowered the device slightly as if testing their resolve. Its voice dropped to a low, almost human tone. Choose, human. Do you take the gift? Or do you turn away? The silence stretched. Sweat dripped inside their helmets. The weight of the decision pressed down like a mountain, and then from the dark passage a sound rose. A deep rumble. Heavy, thunderous steps. The alien's head turned sharply, its glowing eyes narrowing. Too late. They are here. The chamber shook violently as the sound grew louder. The humans raised their weapons, their fear returning. And in that moment, Captain Reynolds made his choice. The chamber shook again, harder this time. Dust rained down from the ceiling, and the glowing symbols on the walls pulsed as if the whole structure was alive and afraid. The heavy rumble of footsteps grew louder from the dark passage. Each sound echoed like a drumbeat of war. Private Lewis gripped his rifle, his hands trembling. They're coming! Whatever it is, it's coming right at us. Captain Reynolds stepped forward, his voice sharp and calm. Hold steady, eyes up. Don't waste a shot. The alien stood tall in the center of the chamber, its glowing eyes fixed on the doorway. Its strange body pulsed with light, as if energy flowed through it like blood. They are not here for peace, it said, its voice heavy and deep. They have smelled you. They have marked you. And now they come to test your strength. Corporal Vega's heart raced. Who are they? What are they? The alien's eyes narrowed. They are called the Devourers, a species without mercy. They take, they consume, they erase. They ended worlds before yours. And now they have found you. The humans froze at the name. Devourers. The word itself carried a shadow. The rumble grew louder. The chamber doors at the far end began to crack. Something was forcing them open. A deep growl echoed through the passage, low and unnatural. Lewis raised his rifle higher. "We can't fight this. We don't even know what they are." The alien turned its head toward him. "Fear is death. If you cannot stand, you will fall. But if you fight, then perhaps you live." The door split open with a scream of metal. A red light spilled into the chamber and shapes began to move in the darkness. The first creature stepped out. It was tall, twisted, and armored in jagged black plates. Its face was a mass of teeth, its eyes burning like coals. The creature's claws scraped the ground as it entered, the sound piercing through the humans' helmets. Behind it, more shadows moved, dozens of them. Lewis cursed under his breath. "There's too many. We're dead." Reynolds' voice cut through the fear. "Not yet, we hold. We fight." The alien raised its strange hands and energy flowed from its body. The bulge at its center split open again, releasing beams of blue light that shaped into a shield, stretching across the humans like a protective wall. The creatures struck the shield instantly, their claws slamming against the glowing barrier. Sparks flew, the sound like thunder. The humans stepped back in shock. Vega whispered, "It's protecting us." The alien's voice boomed, strained but strong. "Do not waste this chance. Fight, humans! Show me your strength!" Reynolds roared, "Open fire!" The chamber exploded with sound. Rifles blazed, bullets smashing into the first wave of devourers. The creatures shrieked, their bodies jerking under the impact, but they did not fall easily. Black blood splattered across the floor as more pressed forward. The alien's shield shook under the assault. Cracks of light ran across it as claws hammered again and again. Lewis shouted, panicked, "It's not holding. It's breaking." The alien's eyes flared brighter. "Then stand tall. Do not hide behind my shield forever. Humans are not meant to cower. Show them why you are feared." The shield shattered with a sound like glass breaking. The force knocked the humans back, their rifles nearly torn from their hands. The creatures surged forward. Reynolds fired point blank at the nearest devourer, blasting a hole through its chest. The creature collapsed with a scream, but two more leapt over its body. Vega swung his rifle like a club, smashing one across the jaw. Lewis screamed as another clawed his armor, sparks flying, tearing through the chest plate. The alien moved like lightning. Its strange body twisted, the glowing core pulsing, and blades of energy extended from its arms. With a roar, it cut through the attackers, each strike burning like fire. The humans stared in shock. The alien was not just a guardian of memory, it was a weapon. Reynolds shouted, "Stay close! Work together!" The fight raged across the chamber. The humans shot, struck, and dodged, their movements desperate but fierce. The alien fought beside them, its body glowing with power, every strike a storm of energy. For every devourer that fell, another appeared from the passage. The ground shook with their weight, the air filled with their screams. Lewis panted, his voice broken with fear. "There's no end to them. We can't win this." The alien's voice thundered above the chaos. "You can win. Not with strength. With will, with unity. That is what makes you dangerous." The words struck Reynolds like a spark. He looked at his team, exhausted, bleeding, terrified, but still fighting. He raised his voice, shouting over the roar, "Listen to me. We don't break here. We fight together. Aim for the heads. Bring them down." The humans adjusted, firing in unison, covering each other, moving as one. Slowly, painfully, the tide began to shift. The devourers fell faster, their bodies piling at the doorway. The alien fought with them, its shield reforming in bursts, blocking deadly strikes, giving the humans precious seconds to reload and fire again. Finally, the last of the creatures screeched, wounded and retreating. It vanished back into the darkness, leaving only silence and the stench of blood behind. The chamber was filled with heavy breathing, smoke, and the glow of dying light. The humans lowered their weapons slowly, their hands trembling. Lewis collapsed to one knee. We survived." The alien stood tall, its glowing eyes fierce, its body still pulsing with energy. "You did more than survive. You showed me you can stand against the dark. But this was only the first wave. The true swarm is still out there." Reynolds wiped blood from his visor. His chest was heavy, but his voice was strong. "Then we'll be ready. Whatever comes next, we'll fight." The alien stared at him for a long moment. Then it nodded. "Perhaps. You are worthy after all." But deep in the passage, the rumble began again, and this time it was louder. The rumble grew louder, shaking the chamber like thunder rolling across stone. The humans had barely survived the first wave, yet now the ground trembled again. Cracks split the walls, dust fell like rain, and the glowing symbols flickered wildly as if warning them. Private Lewis clutched his rifle, his face pale. No, there's more coming. We can't do this again. We'll be crushed. Captain Reynolds forced his voice to remain steady even though fear twisted in his chest. Stand firm. Weapons ready. If this is the end, then we go down fighting. The alien stood tall beside them, its strange body glowing brighter than before. Its core pulsed with blue light, humming like a living engine. This is the swarm, it said. The true test. If you fall now, Earth will fall after you. Corporal Vega wiped blood from his forehead and gave a sharp nod. Then we don't fall. The chamber doors cracked open and a roar filled the air. The devourers poured in like a living flood, twice, 3 times as many as before. Their claws struck the ground, their eyes burned like fire, and their screams filled the air with terror. The humans braced themselves. Fire! Reynolds roared. The rifles blazed again, lighting up the chamber with streams of bullets. The first devourers fell, but more surged forward, climbing over their dead without pause. The alien unleashed its power, blades of energy flashing from its arms, cutting through attackers like lightning. But even it began to slow, its body sparking under the strain. They're endless, Lewis shouted. We'll drown in them. The alien turned to him, its voice harsh. Not endless. Not if you remember who you are. Humans fight with more than weapons. You fight with heart, with fire, with defiance. The words hit Reynolds like a spark in the dark. He raised his voice above the chaos. Listen to me. Don't think about survival, think about each other. Cover every angle. Watch your brother, your sister. We fight as one! The humans shifted, their fear turning into focus. They moved like a single force, covering each other's backs, firing in unison. Every time one fell behind, another pulled them forward. Every time one ran low on ammo, another handed a clip. The devourers crashed against them, but the humans did not break. The alien roared and drove its glowing core into the ground. A shockwave of blue light burst outward, throwing the enemy back in a storm of energy. But the effort shook its body and sparks cracked along its strange form. Reynolds saw it falter. It's dying! No, the alien growled. I am giving. Its chest split wider, revealing the glowing seed of memory within, the device it had shown them before. It pulsed with energy, brighter than ever. Reynolds' eyes widened. What are you doing? The alien's voice was low, heavy with finality. I have carried the past, but now you must carry the future. It ripped the seed free from its body and thrust it toward Reynolds. The glowing core burned with power, humming like a heart. Take it, the alien commanded. Lead your kind. Show them why humans are feared in the dark. Reynolds hesitated only a second before grasping the device. Energy surged into him, filling his veins with fire. His visor lit up and knowledge flashed across his mind. Maps of stars, designs of weapons, strategies of war. The memories of fallen worlds poured into him like a river. He gasped, nearly collapsing, but his voice came out strong. I see it. I see everything. The alien staggered, its form dimming. Then stand. Prove my choice was right. The devourers roared and surged forward again. Reynolds raised the seed high and a burst of light exploded across the chamber. The humans felt strength fill their bodies, their rifles glowing with new energy. Now, Reynolds shouted. Push them back. The humans roared as one, firing with renewed fury. Each bullet struck with burning light, tearing through the devourer's armor. The creatures shrieked, their advance slowing under the storm. The alien, weakened but still standing, joined the charge, cutting through the last of the swarm with its energy blades. At last, the chamber fell silent. The ground was littered with broken bodies. Smoke hung in the air. The humans stood gasping, their armor scarred, their faces weary, but alive. Lewis dropped to his knees, his rifle slipping from his hands. We did it. We beat them. Reynolds held the seed close to his chest. Its glow dimmed slightly but still pulsed, steady and alive. He looked at his team, then at the alien. The alien's body was failing. Cracks of light ran across its frame, its eyes dimming. It sank slowly to its knees. Your fight is only beginning, it said weakly. But now, you are not alone. Carry what I have given. Carry the fire. Reynolds stepped forward, his voice steady. We'll honor it.
We'll fight.
Humanity won't fall. The alien's eyes flickered one last time, and a faint smile touched its strange face. Good, then perhaps I was right about you. Its body crumbled into light. dissolving into the air until nothing remained but silence. The humans stood together, battered but unbroken, the glowing seed of memory in their captain's hands. Reynolds looked toward the dark passage where the enemy had come from. His jaw tightened. This isn't the end. This is the beginning. We'll be ready. The others nodded, their fear now replaced with something stronger. Resolve. In the silence of the alien chamber, humanity's story had changed. They had faced the darkness and survived. And soon the stars would know the truth. Humans were dangerous, humans were special. Humans would not fall.